This equation represents the height an object is above ground after t seconds. It's a quadratic equation, and the shape of the graph would be like this. It reaches a maximum and then it goes back down. But the problem says, how long will it take for the rocket to hit the ground? How many feet above ground is the rocket when it hits it? Well, it's at 0. So this is 0 equals negative 4.9 t squared plus 14 t plus 2.1. And I do not like the leading coefficient of a quadratic to be negative, and I do not like the decimals. So I'm going to multiply every term on both sides by negative 10. And that will change the signs and move the decimal place one place to the right. So I get 0 equals a positive 49 t squared minus 140 t, because I multiply by negative 10, minus 21. And now what I'm going to do is I see a common factor of 7. So I'm going to divide every term by 7 on both sides. And that's 0 equals 7t squared minus 20t minus 3. And I believe that will factor. And that will give me a 7t plus 1 and a t minus 3. Because 7t times t is 7t squared. Positive 1 times negative 3 is a negative 3. And in the middle, you get a 1t and a negative 21t. Combine those, you get negative 20t. So you set both of those equal to 0, and that gives me t equals a negative 1/7. Time can't be negative, and a t equal 3. So there's your answer. If you use the quadratic formula, your a would be 7, your b would be negative 20, and your c would be negative 3. So negative b would be positive 20 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times 7. And you would go from there. Before you use the quadratic formula, you want to make sure you have no decimals and you want your leading coefficient to be positive. You don't want any decimals or fractions.